Golden Radio Hour.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Grandpa, shall I keep your dinner warm for you? Grandpa?
Yes, Marnie. Just let me lie down for a moment and rest my eyes. Now, why is that clock slowing down? I guess I better check it. Let's have a closer look, old friend. What time is it now? Well, 7:31 exactly by my pocket watch. But you say 7:25. Oh, no, that'll never do. And to think that I gave you an overhaul just last week. Now, where did I put my tools? Now, first things first, reset the hands. And there. And a drop of oil here. And one here. Oh, I'll have you shipshape again. You'll see. My grandfather's clock was too large for the shelf, so it stood 90 years on the floor. It was taller by half than the old man himself, though it weighed not a pennyweight more.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
There he goes again.
You noticed?
I guess we should be thankful he has a hobby at his age.
The clock or the song?
Oh, Doug. Should I be worried?
Honey, we've had this conversation before, remember? First it's the song.
And always the same one.
Then he forgets to come down for breakfast. Or lunch, or dinner. Do you realize he hasn't been out of his room all day?
I know.
That clock is all he ever thinks about. It's more than a hobby. It's his whole life now. Sweetheart, I know how much you love him. And I love you. But maybe it's time to face facts.
I kept his plate warm. I'll take it upstairs.
Just give it some thought. That's all I'm saying.
I will. Only I'm afraid I have no idea how to bring up the subject with him. No idea at all.
It is said that each man carefully measures his time, some with fear, some with hope, and some with joy. But Mr. Sam Forstman's time is measured by a grandfather's clock, and from all accounts it is unique, because this particular clock keeps a special kind of time, marked only in the Twilight Zone.
Now, back to the Twilight Zone and our story, 90 Years Without Slumbering, starring Bill Irwin with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
It was bought on the morn of the day that he was born, and was always his treasure and pride. But it stopped short, never to go again, when the old man died. 90 years without slumbering. Tick-tock, tick-tock, his life seconds numbering. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Grandpa?
Oh, come in, Marnie.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's been a few minutes off lately. Quite a mystery. But don't you worry. I'll solve it.
At least move the lamp, Grandpa. You're going to ruin your eyes.
I can see quite well, thank you. Besides, I know practically every part by heart.
But why does it matter that much to you?
I wouldn't expect you to understand. What's a clockmaker?
I brought you dinner.
Dinner? You're awfully early tonight. Besides, I don't need room service. I would have come down.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
It is? Oh, what happened to the time?
I'll leave your plate on the dresser.
You do that. Thank you, Marnie. You're too good to me, you know that?
Grandpa, are you feeling all right?
Me? Never better. Why?
It's just that you spend so much time up here.
And for that, I apologize. It's the clock. There must be some dust in the mainspring.
In fact, you haven't been out of your room since yesterday.
It's my friend's fault.
Your friend?
Been acting up, but once I get him adjusted properly.
Actually, we wanted to talk to you about that.
We?
Doug and I. Grandpa, we know you love the clock, but...
But he's ticking along nicely now. There. Shouldn't have any trouble for a while. Of course, a clock as old as that, well, you're bound to have problems of one sort or another on occasion. Just like people, huh, Marnie?
Of course, Grandpa. Why don't you get some rest?
Oh, you know me, dear. Never sleep. But I might lie down for a few minutes to rest my eyes.
You do that. Good night, Grandpa.
Good night, sweetheart.
Well?
Well, what?
Did you talk to him about it?
I tried, but I couldn't, Doug. I just couldn't. He's such a wonderful man.
I know.
If only he weren't...
Senile? Well, it's the truth. Somebody had to say it.
Oh, Doug. What are we going to do?
Now, what's wrong with you? Where's my pocket watch? I gotta turn on the lamp. 9:41. And you, Grandfather Clock, what do you say? 9:35? But I just reset you. Oh, running slow again. Wait, I didn't wind it properly. That's it. They're making me so nervous I've grown careless. I must let that happen. Here, let me give you a good winding. Oh, no, please don't stop. I'll never forget to wind you again. I promise. Oh, well, there, that's better. Remember, you and I are the only ones who know what'll happen if you run down. But we won't tell anybody, will we? Oh, no, of course we won't.
Want some hash browns with your eggs, honey?
No, thanks.
Are you sure?
Just the bacon is fine.
I wonder if I should make some for Grandpa.
Where is he this morning?
Still sleeping, I guess.
I'm not surprised. He must have fiddled with that darn clock till 4 a.m.
I know.
Did you hear him?
I heard him.
Is that all you're having? Coffee?
I'm not very hungry.
What about the baby? You're eating for two now.
That's one thing you don't have to worry about, Doug.
Marnie,
What?
let's not fight about this.
I'm not.
Honey, I only mean that you've got to accept the facts. Your grandfather's not a well man.
Oh, Doug, I don't know what to do.
Take it easy.
He's always been so alert, so easy to be with.
He's the same grandfather you've always had. But everybody faces this. Your loved ones grow old, and there are decisions to be made. You try your best to do the right thing.
Why don't you come right out and say it? You want to have him put away.
I don't know about that, but why don't we at least let Mel look him over? Can we do that? Just to be sure.
You think I'm crazy?
Grandpa,
Marnie, Doug,
how long have you been standing there?
long enough.
Look, Sam, don't take this the wrong way.
Mel Avery's a psychiatrist, a head shrinker. You don't have to tell me, I know.
Grandpa, listen to me. Mel's been a friend of ours for years. He and Doug went to college together. You've met him.
Well, I've met a lot of people, but I don't let them tinker with my head.
Sam, nobody's going to do that. All we're suggesting is that you see Mel and talk to him. It's not a big deal.
Why should I see a psychiatrist? You think I need one?
Well, I wouldn't put it that way.
Will you please sit down? Have some breakfast with us. Here, right next to me.
Well, if you're sure there's room.
Coffee?
No. I'm wide awake. See, I even dressed myself and managed to come downstairs without a nurse or a walker. That good enough for you?
Nobody's criticizing you. It's just that things happen to people's minds, especially as we get older.
You think there's something the matter with my mind?
She didn't say that.
Well, she might as well have.
I'm talking about physical things. That's why we all have a checkup once in a while.
What's wrong with me physically? I can see all right, and I move around on my own.
You sure can.
And I can use my hands, the same as always.
I know. For example, you love to work on that clock. But you've gotten so preoccupied with it that it takes up all your time.
So I'm fond of my clock, and that makes me crazy. My, what a strange world we live in.
Sam, you'll have to admit you spend a great deal of time with it. Sometimes 3 or 4 hours a day. Sometimes half the night.
Aha! Just because I don't sleep my life away and working on that clock relaxes me, that makes me a candidate for the loony bin? Well, for your information, I've had insomnia all my life, and so did my father. He lived until he was 90. Just like the song says, 90 years without slumbering.
Oh, yes. The song.
It was written before you were born, my boy.
I think you're misunderstanding. Doug only has your best interests at heart.
My best interests. You think I'm afraid? All right. That does it. I'll see your friend, the psychiatrist, and we'll find out just who's crazy in this household and who isn't. Go ahead, call him. How about this afternoon?
Send him in.
Yes, Doctor.
So you're him.
Mel Avery. How do you do, Mr. Forstman?
Pretty well, young man, if the truth be told.
Well, come in. Make yourself comfortable.
If you insist. Am I supposed to lie down on the couch?
Well, whatever you like. I thought we could just talk for a few minutes, get acquainted.
Oh, don't worry about the bedside manner. I know what I'm here for.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Forstman.
Oh, Sam, please. Mr. Forstman was my father, rest his soul.
Doug's told me so much about you.
Oh? Such as? That I've got a screw loose somewhere, is that it?
Not at all. Can I offer you anything? A glass of water?
Let's get right to it, shall we?
If you like. I jotted down a couple of things. Let's see here. I understand you were a clockmaker. That must have been interesting work.
I am a clockmaker. Oh, I'm retired now, but it's in the blood, my life's work. You understand.
Indeed I do. Doug says you have a particular clock you're fond of. A real antique. Must be worth a great deal.
Oh, I'd never sell it. It was presented to me on the day of my birth. My father loved my mother very much, you see, and in those days it was fashionable for a husband and wife to love each other for their entire lives.
And it's no longer fashionable?
Well, if it were, the woods wouldn't be so full of marriage counselors these days.
So the clock was a kind of symbol. You were born on the same day, so to speak.
You want me to tell you I think the clock is alive, don't you? Like a real person. Well, I don't think that. It's a mechanism, nothing more, nothing less.
Then why are you so concerned with keeping it in perfect condition?
That clock is not only priceless, Doctor, it's a family heirloom. Wouldn't you want to maintain it as perfectly as possible?
Well, yes, but...
You aren't sure?
Yes, I'm sure. But then we aren't talking about my clock. We're talking about your clock, aren't we?
Oh, you have a grandfather's clock, Doctor?
As a matter of fact, my wife bought one recently. She collects antiques.
Tell me about it. Whatever comes to mind.
Well, it's about 8 feet tall, hand-carved, built in Germany in 1874. But we're talking about you, Mr. Forstman. Sam.
Oh, why, I thought we were talking about your clock.
Oh, we were, but we've gotten off the track.
Track? Are we going to talk about trains now?
No. Well, if you've nothing more you want to discuss.
I could talk about clocks for hours, Doctor, but your time is expensive. Mine's free. I think I'd better go now, for your sake.
It's been a pleasure.
There is one little thing.
Yes?
I know that when my clock stops ticking, so will I.
Really? You believe you'll die on that day?
Does that make me crazy?
No. But it is rather unusual.
How's your clock running, by the way?
Why, I don't know.
You might want to have it checked.
If I had a clock like that,
You'd what?
I'd get rid of it. I'd have to.
So, either I go or the clock goes. Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't say that.
Well, I didn't think you did. I mean, why would anybody say a thing like that?
Why, I don't know. Such an idea would have no rational basis.
It certainly wouldn't.
Definitely.
None at all.
Indubitably.
Then that should put your mind at ease. I hope I've been of service, Doctor. Have a nice day.
Hey, Doug, Marnie.
I can't thank you enough for seeing him.
Yeah, thanks, Mel.
It's not a problem. I enjoyed it. He's very entertaining.
Oh, he's a character, all right.
So, what's the verdict?
He seems to be in marvelous shape for a man his age.
I'm sure of that. He just had a complete checkup.
What about up here?
Yes, his mind. That's what we're concerned about.
Oh, he's alert, aware, no signs of any cognitive disorder.
Did he talk about the clock?
He sure did.
And?
Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about it. At his age, a man's entitled to a few quirks.
You mean he doesn't need to be put into an institution?
Well, not as long as he has no debilitating physical problems. He should be able to continue living a productive life. But I do want to say something about this attachment of his.
The clock business?
I don't want to minimize it, but if I were you, I'd try to involve him in other things. I'm sure he has various interests.
Oh, yes, he reads a lot. And he's good around other people.
I can believe that. He's a great conversationalist.
The problem is, so many of his friends have passed away.
Does he ever go to the senior center? Anything like that?
I took him by there once, but he wasn't interested.
You can understand that. They're strangers to him. They have their own lives and families.
You might see if there's a regular group at the library. A good way to meet people with something in common.
If we can ever get him away from that darn clock.
It's worth it to make the effort. There is a risk in being so deeply attached to an object. Any object.
What kind of risk?
The clock is becoming an obsession. He's equating it with his own lifespan. That's not good for a man Sam's age. Whatever you do, do it gracefully. Change is a big thing at this point in life. But I hope you can find something else to engage his attention. Instead of letting him focus so completely on the clock. His world is closing in. Take my advice. Do everything you can to help him expand it. And soon.
Grandpa? Are you awake?
Come on in.
I thought you might be taking a nap.
Oh, no. I was just resting my eyes.
I see the clock's running perfectly again.
Perfectly. Marnie, I wanted to talk to you about that.
Oh, it's all right. Listen, Grandpa. Doug and I have to run into town. We were wondering, would you like to come with us?
Afraid not, dear.
I thought we could stop off somewhere, get some lunch. Anywhere you like.
Some other time. I have too much to do.
Like what?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Would you mind if I move it?
Move?
The clock. After all, it takes up so much space here in my room.
Yes, it does.
So you have no objection?
Just as long as you don't try to do it yourself.
Oh, don't worry about that. There were those fellas who came out one time. What were their names? When you put those other things of mine into storage.
I know who you mean. Something like the Starving Artists Moving Company? Wasn't that it?
Exactly. No job's too weird for us. That was their motto. Well, if they don't charge too much, maybe they'd lend us a hand.
I'm sure they would. Grandpa, I think that's a great idea.
It's settled then. I'll arrange it. You two kids have fun.
Watch your step.
Yeah, the carpet, I see it.
Set her down for a minute.
Couldn't he just use a watch?
Or a sundial. Never have to move one of those. Set it and forget it.
How does that song go? My grandfather's clock was too large for the shelf. Something, something.
So it stood 90 years on the floor. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you must be very careful.
Okay, let's up two. We got 2 more calls to make.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Lift.
Oh, watch it.
I got it.
Careful, I said. The pendulum. If it stops.
Not so fast.
Okay, straighten her out.
I can't.
Watch it. Oh,
Watch it, please.
keep lifting.
I'm losing my grip.
Whoa.
Sorry, Pops. That last step's a doozy.
No damage done, huh?
I'll start her running again.
Yeah, you do that. He said he don't want it to stop, remember?
No problem. I'll just open up the case and give it a push. That ought to get it, huh, Pops? Pops?
What's the matter with him?
I don't know.
He just keeled over.
Hey, Sal, feel for his pulse.
Oh, I can't find it.
Call 911. The old guy looks like he's dead.
Okay, I'm calling an ambulance. Where's the phone?
Hey, Pops, come on. You didn't croak on us, did you? Quit fooling now.
Oh, phone's in the kitchen. I can see it. Gotta move the clock to get by.
Hey, wait, he's breathing.
Yes!
Hey, you gave us a scare there.
What happened? My clock.
Easy now.
Oh, I'm all right.
Don't try to get up.
Yeah, just stay where you are.
Don't be silly.
Still want a doctor?
A doctor? I never wanted one in the first place.
Okay, no doctor. Just let me give you a hand.
Listen,
What?
my clock. It's still ticking.
Yeah, sure. You had us worried there for a minute, you know. Don't do that, Pops.
I guess it just wasn't my time. Not yet. Not quite yet.
Here we are, almost home.
You think he'll like it?
Like what?
The takeout we brought him. It used to be his favorite.
Sure he will, honey. You think he's serious about the clock?
That was what he said. He definitely wanted to move it.
Will wonders never cease?
I'll carry the food. I want him to have it before it gets cold.
Go ahead, I'll catch up. I hope you treat me this nice when I get old. Marnie?
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
Oh, Doug, look.
Whoa.
I didn't know he was going to move it today. Next to the bookcase? It's so huge.
Maybe he's trying to make a statement.
He's trying to make a compromise with us.
Oh, you're back early, children.
Hello, Grandpa.
I thought we'd give it a try down here and just see how it looks. What do you think?
Well, I don't know.
You can see for yourself, can't you, Sam?
Yes, I see.
It sticks out like a sore thumb.
Uh-huh. Are you sure?
I think Doug's right.
Well, when you put it that way.
You seem a little shaky. Are you all right?
Yes, of course.
You didn't do any of the lifting yourself, did you?
Oh, no. Some nice college boys. That's what artists look like nowadays, I suppose.
You're awfully pale.
Oh, stop fussing. I'm fine.
You might as well be honest about all this. We talked to the doctor.
You did? Well, what a coincidence. So did I.
Well, he said...
He said you're becoming obsessed with it. And that's not good for you.
Senile. That's what he really said, isn't it?
No, Grandpa, he didn't.
Well, I'm not going to any loony bin. That's final.
Nobody said anything about...
But I'll tell you what I will do. I'll sell it. You heard me. Before that happens, I'll sell the clock once and for all and be done with it. Well, let's see. A red queen on the black king.
The room's going to be a beautiful nursery, Marnie.
You like the fabric samples?
Perfect. Now all you have to do is find the right paint, and you're set.
And a black 9, red 8.
Is that what you did?
You won't believe this, but I actually refused to get pregnant till I had the baby's room all planned out. George said that wasn't logical.
I'd have to agree with him, Carol. There's still some coffee left.
Maybe just 1 cup.
Sit down.
And where will you be moving after the baby comes, Mr. Forstmann?
Oh, what did you say, young lady?
My grandfather's staying right here, Carol.
Oh, of course. I didn't mean...
I'll need his help around the house. I wouldn't know what to do without him.
I'm sure you wouldn't. Are you going to keep the clock downstairs?
We haven't decided.
Carol.
Yes, Mr. Forstmann?
Carol, do you know anyone who might like to buy it?
Sure. Me. Wish I could afford it.
Do you mean that?
Do I? You know how I feel about antiques. Something like this would make my front hall.
Well, I think we could work out something. You could even pay me later. It doesn't matter.
Are you serious, Mr. Forstmann?
It would be ideal with you living next door. I could visit the clock every day.
Not every day, surely.
I mean, I could look after it and keep it in good condition, you know.
Oh, I'd appreciate that.
You see, this is a very special clock. Not one of your normal 8-day models. It has to be wound every other day.
Carol wouldn't want you tinkering with it all the time.
It'd just take me a few minutes 3 times a week.
I wouldn't mind, Marnie. Your grandfather would take such good care of it.
If you're sure. It's up to you two.
Oh, I can't wait to see how it looks. And George says I don't have an eye for bargains. Wait till he hears about this.
Good morning, my dear.
Grandpa, up so early?
Early to bed, early to rise. Ben Franklin said that, I believe. Or was it George Washington? Well, no matter. Time to wind the clock.
Oh, that's why you have your toolkit.
Every other morning for 2 weeks now. Don't you remember?
Well, you could have slept in today. George and Carol are out of town.
They are.
Just for the weekend.
The weekend, but it runs down after 48 hours.
Grandpa, are we going to start that again? We've been so happy lately.
Yes, we've been happy. 2 weeks of borrowed time. I should be grateful.
And that's the evening news. Repeating our top local story, suburban crime dropped 17% since the mayor's new Neighborhood Watch program. We'll be back
Sam,
with Eyeball News
you in there?
at 11.
Well, where else would I be?
Missed you at dinner tonight.
Oh, I'm a little under the weather. I decided to save my strength.
Anything I can get you?
No. I'm just going to watch TV for a while.
Sam, I just wanted to say that it's great to be a family again. Eating our meals together. We missed you tonight. Just didn't feel the same.
Thank you, Doug. And the same to Marnie. And now I think I'll lie down and rest my eyes before the movie starts.
You do that, Sam. See you in the morning.
And say goodnight to Marnie for me.
Will do. Good night.
What? I must have dozed off. Where's my pocket watch? Why, it's nearly 2 a.m. in the morning. Oh, better be careful not to wake them. I'll just get my tools. Oh, thank goodness for street lamps. Let's see now. There's Carol and George's, and the front walk, and the porch. I'll be able to see through the pane in the door, I hope. Oh, good. They left the hall light on. Yeah, there it is. How's the time? 2:31. Oh, it's lost 20 minutes already. I've got to get in. Oh, locked.
Pull over. I saw something.
Where?
In front of that house. Shine the light on it.
I don't see. Wait a minute. Hey, you!
Me?
Hold it right there.
Don't move.
You're not speaking to me, are you, officer?
You live here?
Well, yes. I mean, no. Well, not exactly.
Let's see some ID.
Certainly. Oh, I'm afraid I left my wallet at home.
So this isn't your house?
No, but my clock's in here. They're away for the weekend, you see, and...
Oh, so you figured the place would be empty?
No, I need to wind it.
Where do you live, Gramps?
Next door. The clock, it's running down, and Carol left without telling me, and now it must be wound. It must.
Say, what's he got in the bag? Oh, looks like lock-picking tools.
Oh, they're for fixing clocks. You don't understand. It's a very important clock.
Maybe we ought to take him down to the station.
He's harmless. Come on, Gramps. We'll get you home.
Oh, please, just let me wind it first.
Quiet down. You'll wake up the whole neighborhood.
But I've got to get inside.
Now look, mister. This is private property. You can't go in there.
Don't you see? I'm running down, too. If it stops, I'll die.
I doubt that, old fella.
But...
Come along now.
Please, officer.
We're very sorry this happened.
Sure, I understand.
He's not usually like this, honestly.
Happened to my old man. We put him in a home. He likes it there.
Good night, officers. We appreciate it.
Good night, folks.
Ma'am?
Come on, Grandpa. Let's go upstairs.
It's my fault, Barney. I shouldn't have expected anybody to believe me.
Can I get you anything?
No. I won't need a thing anymore.
Why do you say that?
Don't worry, dear. It's better this way.
Better?
Let me give you one last hug.
Don't talk that way. We'll have breakfast in the morning.
Good night, darling.
Good night.
It is better this way. It has to come sometime. I want it to come for me here.
Well, Sam, old friend, it is time for us to go.
And just where are we going?
Close your eyes, old friend, and lie back down. It's easier that way.
In a pig's eye. What are you doing in my bedroom anyway? The face is familiar.
It should be.
But I don't think we've been formally introduced.
I am your spirit. Our time has come, Sam. After all, you are 76.
That's nothing. And don't give me that spirit of 76 stuff. Who says my time has come?
Have you forgotten what your father told you? Not to mention your grandfather.
About what?
Didn't they always tell you that if ever the clock runs down, you'd die?
Yeah. You know, I actually used to believe that stuff, but it's a lot of foolishness. I know, I've been to a psychiatrist.
So what?
So he didn't think I needed that clock. He didn't think I was crazy either. And you know what?
he was right. All this time we were wrong. Sorry, Sam. I prefer to believe our grandfather. I never trusted head shrinkers myself. Now you listen to me. My father and grandfather were from another generation. I live in the present. Live, I said. Look at yourself. You're just a figment of my imagination. I can see right through you. You don't exist, but I do. And I'll tell you when it's time to go. Only don't hold your breath. I've got a great-grandson coming soon, and I plan to be around so that I can play with him and watch him grow and take him to school, maybe even college. I repeat, I don't believe in you. Therefore, you don't exist. Now I ask you, am I right or am I right? I can't argue with that logic, Sam. I have to admit you have a point. Let me know when it's time, Sam. Let me know. There. Now maybe a fella can get a little peace around here.
Grandpa.
Marnie, why are you still up?
I was worried about you.
Well, what you should be worrying about is my great-grandchild. Now, come on. If you can't sleep, I'll make you a cup of hot chocolate. That should do the trick.
Why, Grandpa, where did you get all the energy?
Never you mind. Now, take my arm here. Careful now. Oh, wait a minute.
What's wrong?
I have a confession to make. I'm afraid I cheated your friends.
Cheated?
That old clock hasn't been running right for 40 years. It's taken everything I know just to keep it going.
Really, Grandpa?
As a matter of fact, it stopped ticking for the last time just a few minutes ago.
Now, how would you know that?
Don't ask me how, my dear. I guess I know my grandfather's clock by now. But you know something, Marnie? When that clock finally died tonight, it was like, well, like I was born all over again.
Was it?
I'm not kidding. Like a great weight was lifted off my shoulders. And now I feel like I can do just about anything.
Well, for starters, we could get you into town a little more.
Clocks are made by men, but only God is responsible for time. No man can prolong his allotted hours, or cut them short for that matter. He can only live them to the fullest. That's our legacy in this world, as well as in the Twilight Zone.
Hi, this is Carl Amari, producer of the Twilight Zone radio dramas. I'd like to take a moment to tell you about our official website at twilightzoneradio.com, where you'll get the latest news and information on these Twilight Zone radio dramas. Plus, at twilightzoneradio.com, you can digitally download 3 free episodes or any of our episodes for only $1.95 each. In this age of ever-changing technology, we've decided to make these episodes instantly available to you by making the Twilight Zone radio dramas a digital download-only series. This means that this series will no longer be offered on CD. The CD collections at our website are now being offered while supplies last at buy one, get one free. So be sure to get your favorites before they're sold out. Be sure to visit us often, and I'll see you in the zone.
90 Years Without Slumbering, starring Bill Irwin with Stacy Keach as your narrator, was adapted for radio by Dennis Etchison and written for The Twilight Zone by Rod Serling from a story by George Clayton Johnson. Heard in the cast were Mike Starr, Fernette Lebo, Doug James, Kurt Nabig, Rich Komanek, Sean Cross, Steve Key, and Jeff Lupetin. To learn more about the Twilight Zone radio dramas and to obtain audio cassettes and CDs of these programs, visit our website at twilightzoneradio.com. The producers of The Twilight Zone wish to thank CBS Enterprises, Carol Serling, Dennis Etchison, Dick Brescia Associates, Claire Simon Casting, Terry Jennings, XM Satellite Radio, Sirius Satellite Radio, our sponsors, and our radio affiliates for helping make this series possible. This copyrighted radio series is produced and directed by Carl Amari and Jason Mallow for Falcon Picture Group. Doug James speaking.